Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of The Legend is Born, Ip Man, a Hong Kong action movie from 2010 that stars Dennis To in the lead role as Ip Man. The canon of these recent Ip Man films is a bit muddled. This installment is not a direct prequel to the Donnie Yen films. You might assume that watching the trailer. This is apparent early on when we see some supporting actors returning from the prior films to play different characters in this one. So it's not a direct prequel. It's basically a different retelling of Ip Man's young adult years that shows his development as a martial artist, and of course he gets to fight against a variety of opponents along the way. Now, Dennis To is a virtual unknown to Western moviegoers, but the first thing one notices is that he actually kind of looks like Donnie Yen, like a younger version of Donnie Yen. He has similar mannerisms at times, and he holds his own during the fights, and I'm assuming that all of these qualities help to earn him the lead role in this film. He's not as much fun to watch as Donnie Yen, though. Probably because his acting style is more reserved, really. Even, I would even say, well, I guess I'm more familiar with Donnie Yen's other projects, because Donnie Yen in the Ip Man films is a lot more reserved than some of his other stuff. But even in Donnie's Ip Man performance, he's a little bit more, a little bit more energetic than this guy. But still, I think Dennis To did a good job here. Now we get a nice little scene between Sammo Hung and Yun Bao at the beginning, but Sammo's role is only a cameo, unfortunately. Thankfully, Yun gets a significant supporting role, so that was nice to see. Louis Fan, Riccio himself, has a big role and breathes some additional life into the film, at least from a charisma perspective. I think Louis Fan has a little bit more charisma and energy compared to Dennis To in this film. I'm always happy when Fan shows up. And then Yi Huang is the female lead. It seemed like her career was on a hot streak during the early 2010s with roles in this film, The Woman Knight of Mirror Lake, and Drug War, all of which are pretty solid, Drug War especially. But it seemed to have cooled off a bit in recent years. She still gets work I've seen on IMDb and Wikipedia, but nothing high profile from an international level, I don't think. I should probably seek out some of her other stuff because I think this actress has a bit of screen presence, and I do like her. And we also get the real-life son of Ip Man makes an appearance in this film. Gets a cool little fight with the lead in a medicine shop, I believe. So that was pretty neat to see that as well. The acting in this movie is good overall. It's good. I would say that The Legend is Born is a bit less melodramatic and bombastic when compared to the Donnie Yen versions of these films. There's less cartoonishness, a little less of the mustache-twirling villainy. There's a little bit here, but not as much as like Ip Man 4 or Ip Man 3 or 2, right? But it's also less dramatically impactful because this film kind of rushes through the story fairly quickly. We do get a few character moments, but they're rather, shallow and lack any type of emotional resonance, I think. Not a big problem for me because this is only a 1 hour and 40-minute action film, and the action is satisfying. So yes, the martial arts are surprisingly good here. Especially if you go into this not knowing who this lead character or this lead actor is. When I first saw this, I really did not know who Dennis To was before this movie, even though he kind of appeared in smaller roles in a few of the other films. But his fighting ability is convincing. His first fight is at like the 15-minute mark, and it's legitimately good. The movie really won me over 15 minutes in. I knew that, okay, we're on pretty good ground here, pretty reliable ground with a fight like that. All right, this movie should be pretty good, and that's exactly what it is. We get a bunch of good fights in this. Really, they're kind of front-loaded and back-loaded to like the opening half hour and the final half hour, and then like the middle section is, kind of like plot development, or so to speak, but the fights deliver. The movie starts strong, and it finishes strong, I think. This was directed by Herman Yau, who's most well known for his Category 3 shockers, like Untold Story and Ebola Syndrome, but he has made a variety of films over his career. Pretty good director, I think. Dude's good. He handles the action beats here very well. Camera work is appropriate. You know, it's wide enough. You could see easily all the martial arts moves. The editing is good, so props to him. Because sometimes when you get a genre director who doesn't do a lot of martial arts films and he comes in to a martial arts film to direct it, sometimes it can get wonky. And they edit, they try to make up shots in the editing bay, or they just don't film it right. But it's good here. The highlight is the finale, which begins as like a ninja attack scene, and then it morphs into a pretty solid hand-to-hand fight between Dennis To and Louis Fan. Very good scene to end the film, so I liked it. I know some movie fans out there are getting kind of sick of these Ip Man stories, and to be honest, really the story in this is nothing new. We get some martial arts development, references at times to Western racism, conflicts involving the Japanese and stuff like that. But then again, lots of those classic martial arts flicks from the 70s had interchangeable plots and stories as well. So does it really matter that much? I don't know. In a film like this, I don't really think it does. The important thing, I think, is that most of the recent Ip Man films have solid fight scenes, they move at a good pace, and they have an effective overall quality and likable protagonists. So, I mean, it's a pretty good, right now, I think it's a pretty good franchise. If they continue to make some more, I guess they have to see who's in it and, kind of judge for myself. But I would not mind if they continued making some of these. So, I do think that The Legend is Born it's a good flick. If you like these kinds of movies, check it out. I think it's good. It's available on physical media in the United States. I couldn't find it on a legit streaming site recently, though, but it is available on physical media for you. And as always, I'll see you next time.